Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today I finished a suspension revalve on this 2023 Yamaha YZ450F KYB suspension. On the bottom, we have one fork that has already been completed and fully built. And above that, we have the KYB cartridge assembly that has already been revalved to our JBI suspension motocross spec. We also have already installed our JBI Titanium Pro Perch. For reference, the stock spring perch is this plastic one that is here pictured in black. You can see it has fixed holes and the holes are rather large, so it is not very effective in slowing the fork down when the perch engages oil near the end of fork travel. Here is the previous JBI Pro Perch 2.0. This is the one we've had on display at the shop for a while. As you can see, we have shims fixtured to the outside of the perch body, and the shims are what bend out of the way to allow more oil to flow through it. Here's what the ports underneath the shims look like. And of course, it has a check valve feature built in here at the bottom with our bushing. As you can see on the new JBI Titanium Pro Perch, there are no longer shims featured or fixtured to the outside. Instead, the shims, or we're gonna call them reed pedals now, have been machined out of this titanium silver body, which you see here. And you can see a very fine slit right in the middle. That's where the oil is going to flex these little reed pedals open and allow more oil to pass through under high pressure. Again, the JBI Pro Perch is a pressure sensitive spring perch design. It has been since its debut in 2013. And what you see here is our newest, most up-to-date version, which we are calling the JBI Titanium Pro Perch. Much sleeker design, as you can see. It has a larger change of area, meaning when it flexes open, it can flex open more than our previous one. So that means it is more speed, or let's say pressure sensitive. So you can expect even better bottoming with this design than you can from the JBI Pro Perch 2.0. This was in development for over 4 years. We started in about 2019. And it took us a good 4 years of development to get the design right. And then many iterations and revisions were made over time. These 2023 KYB forks are probably the best ones to date in terms of the stock settings that they come with. When it comes to Ride JBI, tuning the suspension and setting it up to our JBI suspension motocross specs, we are doing some valving changes just in some very well-placed areas. Reason being is these forks already work really well. So what we want to do is focus on polishing how well it works and just fine-tuning some key areas inside of the forks valving. By doing that, we focus on making the forks a little more compliant and comfortable. So when the wheel hits those small and medium bumps, going into corners and coming out of corners, so we often see bumps that size, it'll be a little more compliant and plush. That's a lot of what our revalve focuses on. And then our JBI Pro Perch gives the forks much more bottoming than they have in stock form. The stock forks are already well known for some good bottoming. So with this JBI suspension setup, you can plan on having a more comfortable ride and more bottoming compared to the stock setting. So overall, an improvement compared to the stock forks. There's no drawback from this setup. The shock also received a JBI suspension motocross revalve. It is the matching spec to what we did for the front forks. The spring rates have also been changed for this rider. We have gone one up on the spring rates. So we have 0.53 kilogram fork springs and a 6.1 kilogram shock spring. As you can see, we also changed out the bladder cap on this shock. We're not a fan of the stock bladder caps that utilize a rubber plug in order to degas or inflate the nitrogen inside of the shocks. Often the rubber plugs leak out and fail, and the nitrogen, again, leaks out and the shock performs very poorly. So we like to default back to the original Schrader valve design, which is on the majority of bladder caps. It's much easier to charge the bladder and also check it too if you just want to check how much pressure is inside of your shock. And it's much more reliable compared to the stock design. Let's see, we got a nice blue one here. So at Ride JBI, again, the main focus on these new Yamahas, or it kind of has been our MO for a while on the Yamahas, is they already work so well. Our theory and whole mantra on revalving the Yamahas is really fine tuning them. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need different pistons in terms of compression or rebound pistons. You just need to really fine tune what's there and work with a tuner that's going to listen to you and the type of rider you are. So that way they can better match the suspension to your exact preferences. And then the end result is this already good performing suspension working even better. Just to summarize real quick, we did JBI suspension motocross revalve on these front forks. That's what added some more rider comfort, or what the rider will experience is some more comfort. And then we have the JBI Pro Perch for additional bottoming resistance on it as well. For reference, the stock one on the left, the previous JBI Pro Perch 2.0. And here we have the matching JBI suspension revalved KYB shock. Ride JBI has been working with Yamahas for a long time. Since about 2006 is when we really started working with the Yamaha YZ and YZ450F models specifically. So we have a lot of tuning time, and it's been really fun seeing what the manufacturer has done over the years to improve and update their YZ and YZ450F models. Now more than ever, Yamaha is really kicking ass with some great bikes, and their stock settings are quite good. Ride JBI has tested, tuned, and developed many other suspension settings for the Yamahas. We have settings for all the different types of off-road riding, motocross, supercross, arena cross, and freestyle motocross. If you'd like Ride JBI to do your suspension, please give us a call or send us an email. We can discuss the year, make, and model bike that you have, which options are available, and which setup would be most advantageous for you. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.